Hi guys, this is me, Rusty 78609, Central Texas, USA, 2:17 p.m., July the 23rd, 2017. Still, believe it or don't. And anyway, I've been going through these. I've just been going down my comments and looking at to see if there are some that kind of repeat. And since I've been doing these every now and then, I do a video related to tiny homes and stuff, because there's some people that have an interest in, off-grid living and options to living other than in a subdivision with a regular sticks home. And anyway, I found this comment and a couple of others related to how to find a place, and that's really difficult, and I don't think I can answer it, but I can give you some direction that you might use in your area to find a spot. But anyway, here's a comment from a fellow named Chris. Says, Rusty, hello from Central Texas. I found your videos yesterday and liked them. Keep it up. Apologies if you mentioned this in another video I wasn't able to find. But I was wondering how much land you have and how much you pay in property taxes. I've got about maybe half an acre total. I've got 3 lots, and property taxes cost me here in my area about round numbers $200 a year. He was curious to know how much the improvements on the property are appraised for. I don't see the appraised, it doesn't break it out on my appraisal. It just gives me one amount per lot, and but it does include the improvements. On 2 lots, the taxes are higher because I've got the improvements on 2 lots, and then there's 1 lot that I haven't done a thing to, and so that one has stayed the same. But but the improvements that I did, of course, I put a road. Originally I had just a road where I'd just driven in and out and made a road through the brush and the grass. And over a period of time, though, since the land slopes kind of like this away from the home, it became a little rutted from water washing it out in places. So I got some fellow in this area was building a road, and the construction crew had some road base left over, and they told me that they would grade my driveway. They actually take it down about 3 or 4 inches and then put the road base in and pack it, because they had all their equipment out here. And I had that done. It cost me $800 for the road, but it's lasted me about 10 years now, and I haven't any problems at all. As far as the aluminum cover, it was about $1,500 installed with all the braces and stuff. It's a 18 by 26, I think, is what it's called. It's got 10-foot legs on one side and 9-foot legs on another. Again, that's because the property slopes, and it works fine. The deck was, I don't know, $1,000 round numbers for the it's a, what is it, it's a 15 by 18 wooden deck. Yeah, and it was built by some people that live in the neighborhood. What he does, or at that time the individual was doing contract work for home additions, and so he brought some people over and they did it. Took them a little over half a day, and it was done. So, but anyway, that's how that works. Now, for those of you that are thinking about getting these tiny homes and putting them somewhere, see, that's difficult, because I don't know what the rules are in other states, so I'll just speak for Texas in my area. I lived out in the Big Bend area on Terlingua Ranch. It's totally unrestricted. You can put anything you want there. Just remember that it is unrestricted, and your neighbor can do the same thing. And so that's the upside and downside of unrestricted property. And as far as finding out what the restrictions are or are not, you can go to the county appraisal district, at least in Texas, and they'll either know or they'll be able to point you in the right direction to find out what the deed restrictions are in any area in that county. And so that's what I've done. Now, what I did here, when I moved in here about, 12 years ago, 14 years ago, in that range, when I bought the property, It's in a property owners association, a POA, but because this subdivision's property owners association had been inactive for years, a lot of things had happened that were in violation of the original property owners association guidelines, and there were some other restrictions that people were violating. And so when I bought this property, I talked with the people at the property owners association, and I talked with the president of the deal, told him what I was planning on doing, that I wanted to park an RV here and put a cover and a deck and some stuff. And he said, go ahead. He said, you'll just be what's called seasonal. And seasonal means that I wasn't going to be living here full time, that I'd be here, because I was traveling at the time, and that was exactly what I was doing, and I still do. Only I leave my RV now and go in a Prius, or did go in a Prius, and now go in a pickup with a camper top. And so far there have been no issues related to that. It's kind of like, out of sight, out of mind. You can't see my property from the road at all, and it's not trashy or cluttered. Now, some of the other places in this neighborhood, because the restrictions have been violated by everybody, a lot of people, there's some old junk cars and stuff like that, but it doesn't bother me. I mean, I'm quite at peace right here in this area. Now, could you do the same thing? Man, it's up to you. You can go into these subdivisions, and if you see old junk cars and other RVs and stuff like that, yeah, you could probably do it. And you may have to take a chance, who knows, but be careful when you do, because they can sue you and take you into court to force you into compliance, or force you to sell your property, and that's where you'd end up. You'd have to sell out because you may not be able to comply with all the restrictions. Best thing to do for those of you that are getting these, or thinking about getting these tiny homes, is find you some unrestricted property that backs up to a very large tract of land, like a ranch, that's been in a family for 50 or 100 years or whatever, and probably won't sell in your lifetime, or at least if it does, it'll be a large enough tract so you'd still have your privacy and so forth. But just bear in mind, whenever you buy unrestricted property, is what it is. If somebody wants to put in a hog farm next to you, or a chicken farm, or they're loud or whatever, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you're in an unrestricted area, and that's the way that is. Have I ever had any issues here with noise or animals? Not really. Occasionally there's dogs that run loose, but that's not a big deal. That's going to happen even in gated communities. Sometimes you'll have a person or an individual that thinks their dog is perfectly harmless, and it is to them, but it may not be to you. So my recommendation is just take your time, look around, and the best way to find a place is find you an area that you think you'd like to live, and start checking it out. Just start driving through the areas and checking it out, because that's and then that you can do Google Earth stuff, which can help narrow it down, of course. Go to an area and take a look at it from Google Earth, and eliminate those that have a nuclear power plant in your backyard. You don't want that. But overall, I would just say that go to the area and check it out. I mean, another question I'll answer, and I've had this asked several times: if I left here, or if I wanted to move to another location, what area of the world would I move to? Well, I have to say, for me, since I'm a native Texan and Texas is my home, I would probably stay in Texas. Now, I do like Alpine, Texas. I do. Alpine and Fort Davis and Marfa are really nice areas, and they're in the elevations above 5,000 feet, so the summers aren't too hot, and in the wintertime they get a little dusting of snow. The only downside is it's very remote. The other area that I might like to move, if I have to one of these days, is Fredericksburg, Texas. And the reason is it's just a German community. They've always got something going on. It's about 10,000 population. And I've been there several times. I even thought about renting an apartment over there at one point. I'm not. It's whenever I get to the point where I'm not capable or not, I don't feel real safe driving even the distance, say, to the grocery store in Marble Falls, which is about 20 miles one way, and I've got to wear those blinders or whatever they call them, those dark shades. As my health, as I get older, I'll do whatever's necessary. And if I move to Fredericksburg, I just go into one of those over 50 apartment complexes, I guess, and live out my days there. I don't know. It's the only thing I can think of. I'm not going to go in a rest home at all. That's out. Or assisted living. I mean, I don't think I could deal with that. So if I get to that point where I need help, then I'll have to just check out. And do I have the mental strength to do that? I don't know, but I think I do. But having said that, for you guys that are looking at these tiny homes and stuff, all I can say is before you make the purchase, have a place to put it. That's it. And as far as utilities, you can get by off-grid very easily. I'm not off-grid. I've got electric, I've got water, and of course I've got septic and all the other stuff I need. And it's very nice here. But if they didn't have electric, could I get by on solar? No. And the reason is you got to have an air conditioner, and you cannot run an air conditioner without solar. Now, they do make propane air conditioners. I don't know how they work, but I know they do. But anyway, having said that, I hope that answers your questions related to finding a place to put your tiny homes or whatever you want to do, or even an RV. Finding a place to park an RV on just some bare land is not the easiest thing you'll ever do. And the reason is most places are restricted so that you cannot put an RV there. Now, some cases you can put a mobile home there, but they don't consider an RV a mobile home at all. In fact, in Texas, if you have, like I have this RV on these lots, I can't homestead this property. I can't get the homestead exemption, and the reason is it's an RV. They won't do it for mobile homes either, I don't think. But anyway, having said that, guys, enjoy your day. Thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye bye. Buy USA made when you can. Drink plenty of water. Where is it at? Oh, it's up here. This guy from New York did that. And here's Cullen and his brother Hagen. I'm telling you, getting moved out here. But having said that, enjoy your day. Take it, drink plenty of water, 3 or 4 quarts a day. You'll pee like a racehorse or a 2 or 3 peckered possum, but you'll feel a hell of a lot better. And gout and kidney stones will kind of be eliminated, hopefully. And take deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth several times a day, because that does relieve stress, and relieving stress lowers your blood pressure, and low blood pressure is good for you. That's just the way it is. Stretch, walk. I did my walking this morning. There was one lady left a comment, or somebody. Yeah, it's Corey. She said she walked and jogged 7 miles this morning. Walked and jogged 7 miles. Just about a bit more than I could chew. Laugh out loud. I wore my orange shirt as well. Yeah, when I was young, I mean, I'd do that. I'd go for 6 or 7 miles, and up until a few years ago, I'd go walking sometimes for 2 hours or 3 hours, just for the hell, and I still could. I just don't want to overdo. That's the key. So anyway, thumbs up, guys. Enjoy your Sunday, and we'll be checking in with you tomorrow for comment call. No mail, though. Nothing, honey. Anyway, bye-bye. Enjoy your day, guys. Bye-bye.